Good afternoon, everybody. What is going on? I am Jeff GrantMEDIA. In today's real user review, we are going to be taking a look at the Beckett Simonon Williamson boot. Now, Beckett Simonon did send me these as a sample for review, but all of the opinions in this video are mine and mine alone. I did not share this content with Beckett Simonon prior to publication. They will see this when you do. Now, we do need to lead this video off with a correction to something I said in my unboxing video. I said that Beckett Simonon, the company, had been around for about 80 years. That was wrong. The company themselves have been around since 2011. The workshop that makes the boots have been around since 1945. Now, the rep from Beckett Simonon did reach out to me and make that correction, asked me where I read that. I said, on your website, and I have since not been able to find that exact page or information I read, so I don't know. They must have made a correction. I don't know if they had written it wrong or if I misinterpreted what I read. But either way, Beckett Simonon has been around since 2011. The workshop that manufactures the boots has been around since 1945. Now, you may be saying, that boot looks pretty clean. That sole doesn't look like it's worn outside at all. Both boots look damn near brand new. And yeah, you'd be correct. They do look pretty brand new because I didn't wear these that much because they are incredibly uncomfortable to wear. So my initial unboxing test fit, I had them on for 10-15 minutes and they're fine. And they're good in the width. The size is correct, but you know, walking around for 10 or 15 minutes in the house, I didn't have any issues. There was no pinching, there was no rubbing. They weren't irritating my feet in any way. But the very first day I wore these, I wore them to work, and after about an hour, probably less, the heel started hurting incredibly bad in both boots. It wasn't just one, it was both boots. And then a little bit more, I'm just sitting at my desk. I wasn't even doing anything very active that day. Sitting there, the instep started hurting. Again, in both boots, not just my right boot. My feet were killing me. I could not wait to get home and take these off. I didn't have a backup pair of shoes with me. So I was stuck wearing them all day long. I did unlace them and try to relieve some of my foot pain, but even so, that worked a little for the instep, but my heels, they still hurt. So some boots are more difficult to break in than others. Okay, so I learned my lesson. I brought shoes with me. I wore these to work a couple of days and brought some sneakers with me. When they hurt, after about an hour, maybe two, I would swap into my sneakers. And I did that for a couple of weeks. At one point, I started to just leave these at work and I wore sneakers. I put these on. When they hurt, I took them back off and wore the sneakers, which is why the soles look pretty clean, because mostly these were worn inside. They only walked from the house to the car, from the car to the office a couple of times, and then they kind of just sat in the office, and I wore them, on the carpet and on the floor, which they clean like 2 or 3 times a day, which is kind of weird that they run that Zamboni that often at work. But they were mostly worn indoors, which is why the soles look pretty clean. And they didn't break in. They didn't get more comfortable. If anything, they actually hurt my feet sooner with every wear. So I can get through an hour, maybe 2. And I think by the last time I wore them, it was after like 20-30 minutes. They were hurting. I had to take them off my feet. So they were not comfortable. Also, another point too is these laces, they are incredibly thin. These are like spaghetti thin, and they're not the best lace to tie. They're also a little bit short too. So if you use both of the speed laces, you don't have a lot of lace to work with to actually tie the shoe. So the laces are too short, they're too skinny, and the boots are incredibly uncomfortable. I really tried. I tried to wear them. I've tried to break them in, but they were just painful. Now, I could see it being a QC issue if it was one boot. The right boot hurt, especially with me. I do have issues with my right foot, with my instep. Sometimes I find a boot, especially with a gusseted tongue, where my right instep will hurt and I have to stretch the boot out in the instep. But with these boots, it wasn't just the right, it was the left as well. Both the heel and the instep in both boots. So I don't think it was necessarily a QC issue where maybe my right boot was sent to me in a size 8 and my left was sent to me in the 8.5. They both fit the same. They both have the same width, the same length, and both hurt in the exact same places. Now, I have seen other reviews on YouTube that people are saying positive things about Beckett Simonon. Maybe it's the Williamson style where it's not a very good style. I mean, it looks good. I like the look of the boot. It's got a good look to it and everything, but it's just incredibly uncomfortable. Now, the price point, it's quite appealing, $268. Now, yes, that may seem like a ton of money, and I will agree that is a lot of money, especially even me. I buy like $60 Vans and I wear them for a year, maybe 18 months before I wear them out, and toss those things out. So like $60 seems like a pretty reasonable amount of money to spend for a average pair of shoes. But when you start talking about leather boots and shoes in the menswear sphere, $268 is actually quite inexpensive. So that is a very appealing price point when you see this boot at $268. Especially, again, it looks good. It's got a good style. It's got a false cap toe, but has the cap toe look to it. But it does look good. It just doesn't fit good. It's just really, really uncomfortable to wear. I try to give it a fair shake. I can't in good conscience recommend that anyone buy this boot. With what I'm seeing out of this one style, I wouldn't recommend trying another. But again, I have seen positive reviews of these boots, other styles online, and people seem to like them. But I have had a very negative, to put it politely, a negative reaction to these boots. They're just not comfortable to wear. Now, something in the same price point, I would go with Craft & Glory. I have a lot of experience with Craft & Glory. I have several boots, all of which are very comfortable, very durable, around the same price point. I've even done roofing in a pair of Craft & Glory boots, and they still look pretty damn good. I've done a lot, and I have probably 3 or 4 different styles of Craft & Glory boots on the shelf right next to me, all of which were very comfortable out of the box and even got more comfortable as they broke in. So that would be a very good direct competitor to Beckett Simonon that I could personally recommend and get behind. Another is Thursday boots. I don't have any personal experience with Thursday boots, but I know a lot of people that have them and love them. I've seen plenty of videos from other creators and people that actually really like Thursday boots, and you can get Thursdays for like $200. You can get them even cheaper than the Beckett Simonon. Hell, even Carl Morawski, who has made many videos, anti-Thursday videos, he's now working with them on a style and saying that Thursday has greatly improved over the years. So, I mean, you got Thursday, cheaper than the Beckett Simonon. Craft & Glory would be a really good option, but if you're looking at the Beckett Simonon, I would just say, just pass. It's not a good place to put your money. Yeah, I think you'd probably be throwing $268 down the drain. It's not worth it. And I think I had to wait like 6 or 8 weeks to get this boot, which isn't bad. I mean, if you get a pair of Craft & Glory, you might be waiting that same length because they're MTO boots. They're made to order, which I believe the Beckett Simonon are as well. So you place to order, the boots are made. So they're not sitting, which is a good thing. They're not sitting on a shelf for a year or two, you know, glue coming unbound. You don't know how the warehouse is, if it's climate controlled, things like that. So I do personally prefer a little bit of wait to get an MTO boot, so I know that I'm getting a made to order boot where it's not just sitting there for an undisclosed amount of time in a warehouse that may or may not be climate controlled, just rotting away more or less. So the wait time, not necessarily a bad thing, but same thing with Craft & Glory, MTO, you'll be waiting a little bit of time, but you're gonna get a quality boot. You're gonna get something that you can actually wear for several years, something you can re-sole if you burn out that sole, and something that's not gonna hurt your feet after 20 minutes of wear. So yeah, this is a big no for me on the Beckett Simonon. I just didn't like it. It didn't feel good at all. Again, first time trying it on, 10-15 minutes was fine. Didn't have any discomfort, nothing showed its face in that first initial try on, but after the first wear, it didn't get any better. It just got worse and worse. So if anything, they broke in a poor way because they became more uncomfortable the more I wore them. So pass on Beckett Simonon. Look into Craft & Glory or Thursday if you want a affordable menswear boot that's going to be a leather boot. And yeah, I hope this was helpful to anyone. If you bought a pair of Beckett Simonons, I hope they work out for you because that's a good chunk of change. You don't want to waste your money. And hopefully I saved you from potentially wasting a bit of your hard-earned cash. So with that, if you like this video or any of my other videos, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Smash that big red button and ring that bell right next to it so notifications the next time I post a brand new video. Good night.